Warning, the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Coach's Box. Fellas, episode number 234. This is the From Upset to Upset, all in about 1.7 seconds. Fellas, how are we doing this evening? Tears or what?
It's hard to think about. It was right there.
It was right there.
I mean, right there in 1.1 seconds.
Mm-hmm. both of you are depressed. So while you guys
no, I go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, if you're in the greater St. Louis area and you're living under a rock, I guess you probably didn't know what has happened or transpired recently in sporting news. But the St. Louis Blues played the Winnipeg Jets, not the New York Jets, but the Winnipeg Jets. They were in Game 7 up in Canada. They had a 3-1 lead.
3-1 lead.
It was 3-2, and all they had to do now, I know nothing about hockey. All they had to do was just clear the puck. That's it. Just clear it. Get it to the other side.
Well, that's not exactly correct.
No.
Buchnevich kind of screwed this up, all right? He took an early shot at that goal, which did not burn any time off. He should have skated it up and just dumped it in and wasted time, and then they would have never had the time to score that winning goal. Now, that's not the only thing. The 6-on-5, Jim Montgomery has got to figure out what the hell to do when they pull the goalie to make it successful for the Blues, because they were the worst in the league in the regular season, and playoffs, gosh damn awful, lose the game. Now, I'm not going to be like all these other idiots I heard calling in on 101.1 and, oh my God, and blah, blah, blah.
I don't know what that means, but that's okay.
We got way more than what we were expecting this year out of this team. And for what was a retool-ish year, they took the best record in the league all the way to the wire. It's hard. I felt like the Mizzou Tiger fan I am all over again, but just a Blues fan. It was devastating. I was working at Emo's. We actually were dead at the time. No one was ordering. I get to watch it all unfold, and what a miserable way to lose.
So I'm gonna give full disclosure here. So you guys are on the group chat and you're like, yay, we're winning. Let's go.
And then Blues. It was silent.
Right? No. I turn it on and I check the app and I'm like, oh, there's under a minute left. I'll tune in. We're winning. And I kid you not, last 30 seconds, and I see them and in a snapshot, again, of not knowing anything about hockey, I said, they look tired, they look slow, and something bad is about to happen. And
didn't you put that in the group chat?
No, I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe at some point. Like it was.
I did.
It was.
You did. You put the hex the kiss of death, the 666
Oh
on the Blues
Wow.
and our
Chris
group
did.
chat.
Okay, Chris, shame
Wow.
on you.
That's pretty intense stuff there,
Yeah,
Jason. I
Chris.
don't know if I would go that far.
Man, shame on you, Chris.
It was being facetious. I wasn't meaning it.
Very facetious. Gosh,
Facetious,
Bobby.
not prestigious.
So, Chris,
No,
you
yeah.
know, when you get done sharing the show, I know you got a lot of opinions on this. Tell us what you thought.
Yeah,
He's looking at cards. He ain't sharing shows.
I'm
I was
listening
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and not
Doing
dry
both.
stitch on him.
That's fine. I'll tell you right now. I mean, talk about from the highest to highs, the lowest to lows, like really, really quick. That was how I felt. I mean, that the last 2 minutes were terrible. You're right, and I listened to Doug Armstrong's end of the season press conference, Montgomery's talks. Obviously, I mean, coaches and general managers can't go out there and play for the team. And I'm going to start by saying they played them playing in this series was house money because they did way exceed expectations. They set a franchise record for wins in a row, which when you do that, I mean, that's 12 wins in a row. That's 24 points because you get 2 points for the win. It's not even ties or overtime loss. I mean, overtime losses, you're getting the full 2 points. And for them to do that and basically have to play themselves in the playoffs, they did that after Parayko got hurt, which at the time was their best defenseman. They got probably the best defenseman in Cam Fowler in the trade. He's the best defenseman for the second half of the season, and especially after the Blues got him by numbers-wise and statistics. And they really gelled. Losing Dylan Holloway was extremely, extremely bad for this team. And they obviously didn't realize it was going to be as bad as it was, the injury that he had. So, I mean, you're playing probably without a full 100% Parayko. You don't have Holloway, who was by and far, once Montgomery was hired in the middle of the year, was one of the best forwards in the league. You got a great year out of Kyrou, but then it comes down to the game 7, when you need to put these guys away. And there were many opportunities. I don't know how many times I'm yelling at Robert Thomas to shoot the damn puck.
Oh, so was I.
He passed it. So you know what everybody knows Robert Thomas is going to do? He's going to pass the puck. And even the announcers, after I've said it like 3 times, the announcers kick in and they're just like, he's got to start shooting. Well, yeah, no kidding. I thought when you said how tired they looked, I thought Jordan Kyrou just went away. Probably about midway through the second period, he didn't win a fight. I don't think he won a fight for a puck, especially in the third period and in both overtimes. Anytime that he got hit on a check or any kind of contact, it's kind of like, okay, you can have it. That's not going to win, and especially being a guy that is going to make the money that Jordan Kyrou is about to kick in and make with his contract. I will say this: they're going to have to make a decision on him. And I've never been a big Jordan Kyrou fan. I've been very vocal about it because I still believe he's one of the reasons we don't have Craig Berube. But his no trade clause kicks in during the summer. They still have time after the season is over to trade him before it kicks in.
So now, I want you to get done with your rants.
Well, and I just want to go through real quick while I have my thoughts.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it. And Jason hit the nail on the head too. It was one of the mistakes when you have the opportunity. Buchnevich just like got real skittish, and when he chucked that puck down there was so much ice that he could have took a couple of strides, and you take all that time off that's going to play into it. Instead, he chucks it at the goal, misses. Well, now it's an icing. So now they got to come back there. And when you have an icing, Zach, what happens is you goes back. But you can't sub if you're the team that ices the puck. Okay. They can put fresh guys out there. And that's a real big deal, especially in that situation when you're playing 6-on-5. Or on even a power play and things like that. But when there's no icing in power plays, but when you when you just chuck it down there like that sometimes it's good because you just need to clear the puck. But then other times in that situation, he had time to evaluate. And I thought he just kind of got real skittish, like for really no reason.
So you're saying he puckered up.
I mean, it kind of looked that way because, man, he could have at least skated a couple of strides, might even got the empty netter. And you got to think, all they had to do is get the empty net, boom, the game is over. And the fact they gave up 2 goals in under 2 minutes, 6-on-5 with the net wide open down there, that's a problem. So that's something I'm sure they're going to evaluate and fix. It was incredibly heartbreaking. I was really upset. And I mean, I was just one of those people, and I want to do it as loud as I can. I was just like, no! And I just like fell out of my chair. I was so mad. I mean, I was livid mad. I didn't want to talk the rest of the night, to be honest.
You could see it. You could see it coming, and I'm going to relate it to basketball terms for everybody. You could see it like it was a zone, like the Blues were playing a 2-3 zone, and the Jets swung the ball, started it on one side, swung it around, and you got that wide open 3 in the corner, or at least on a wing. So you made the defense shift, you got your open shot, and you could see it. I'm like, okay, here it comes.
Kind of like the Nuggets did the other night. But anyway.
So let me ask you this, because obviously not knowing anything. You go to a game 7, you should have won against the best team in the league, and you're calling it a rebuild-ish year.
Retool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you're looking at contracts, why are you calling it a rebuild if that roster took the Jets roster to game 7 and should have won? What are you adding? What are you subtracting? What are you not bringing back? Like
they need a legit goal scorer, like a guy that's going to score.
But Jason, they're not going to go get that guy. I mean, the only way they go get that guy is if they move Kyrou, because you're going to have. Well, first off, Krug is probably never going to play hockey again. Torrey Krug, losing him at the beginning of the year, that money is going to come off the books. And now there's a couple of contracts that make more money, so there's going to be a couple decisions they have to make in order to stay under the salary cap. If they had a chance to go get Mikko Rantanen after he got traded from the Avalanche to the Hurricanes, I believe it was in the offseason, or it might have been early in the season, because the Avalanche weren't going to be able to re-sign him. So he gets traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. They realize they're not going to lock this guy up for long term. So you know who they trade him to? The Dallas Stars. You know who the Dallas Stars just beat in their first round series? They beat the Avalanche. And you know, after they traded for Rantanen, they basically signed him to an 8-year deal. Okay? He signed whatever. He scored, Zach, by himself, scored 2 goals in about a minute and a half, ended up with a hat trick. He scored 3 goals in the third period, and the Stars were down 2-0 going into that period, and he just said, "Get on my back." He's that kind of player that we really wish we could have had. And they don't come around very often. But he got traded twice, and we weren't anywhere in that picture, because are we retooling? Or are we trying to buy to win now? The problem is they exceeded their expectations this year, which meant that Armstrong was not going to go out at the deadline and sell the farm to get somebody like that. He goes and gets Fowler basically for nothing and fleeces Anaheim and makes – I mean, now you got this guy. He's got a year left on his contract. They just don't have those guys, and that's the unfortunate part. I personally think they need a defenseman, and I hate Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk is terrible. He's undersized. He does make great decisions with the puck, and he sure as hell can't defend. He's good on power plays. That's about it.
So I remember, I guess, either it being this year or maybe in the past, where they have said the salary cap is an issue, and they've spent so much money maybe on mid-level type contracts, is that still a problem for the Blues? Is that why they can't get a big name? Like, what's the issue? What again, you need a star. What is a star available, and can you afford it?
The star as I said, they just don't make those guys. Mm-hmm. And when they do have them, they're not available. Huh. Like if you get, so hockey contracts are weird. You get your 3 years of your rookie control contract once you sign, and then you get restricted free agency, which, they can do offer sheets and match, and most of the time you go ahead and sign. But at that point, if you're a stud, they will sign you to an 8 to 10 to 14-year deal, and you don't have to worry about it. Those are guaranteed contracts. So the only way that those guys move is if they get traded. And they're just not a lot of – you have to draft them a lot of times to get them. You have to trade a lot of dudes to go get them, like when we traded to get Gretzky, and then he left because Mike Keenan sucks. I will never get over that. So just know that anytime that comes up, I will be pissed off. So they spin to the cap, yeah, because you have to, but you also can't have like 3 of those superstars and then have no money left over, because they occupy a lot of cap. If you're going to get a guy who's pretty good, or you have to sign somebody who's pretty good, they're going to command between $6 and $9.5 million, and that's a large contract in hockey. It's not the largest, because then you could pay somebody 12 to 14, like a Connor McDavid contract or Austin Matthews, and those are your top guys. Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin, those guys.
Okay, so I'm hearing you got to draft those guys. Well, to draft those guys, you got to be bad.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, if we're continually middling, we're in the first round, well, then I'm not hearing lottery pick, because I think they had on ESPN last night, maybe the lottery draft or something.
They did.
And I didn't see a Blues.
Well, it's because they made the playoffs, Zach.
Okay. Well, again, that's for the show purposes, Chris. That's what I'm saying, is so they're always stuck in purgatory.
Nice Catholic term there. Did you ever work at a Catholic school, Zach?
Time or two, maybe.
Okay. I don't want to be the only one talking here. Jason's over there falling asleep. Jason, let's get your thoughts on this. Oh my God.
What's on? What's he watching? Hey,
lights show.
That's going to be a new segment. What's Jarvis watching?
I'm sorry. I'm watching a little bit of the Boston-New York game, but I still, yes, a defenseman would be nice. I still want a goal scorer. That's what I want. I'm not saying they'll get it. I'm not saying – they're hoping someone like Snuggerud turns into that, I
thought Snuggerud played well.
I did too. What an addition there at the end of the year. And, both teams weren't 100%.
No.
Their best defenseman was out. Parayko wasn't 100%.
No.
Us losing Holloway was hurtful. And, it is what it is. Hockey's a tough sport. Next man up. I think, if anything, this loss is going to burn. And it's Bennington and those guys. This is not going to be easy to forget. And I hope it puts a major chip on their shoulder for next year.
Yeah. It's not one that it's going to be easily forgotten. To me, it's very equatable to that Brendan Shanahan or Steve Yzerman from the blue line back in like 95. Jason, you remember that when he comes across the blue line, chucks it and scores, and that's it. The series is over. It's like, really, he scored on that.
And the Blues are singing the blues again.
Again, it's a tough thing to be a Blues fan. The good news is we have actually won the cup, so that helps with that a little bit.
Well, and our GM has been pretty solid. Now, I'm anxious to see how it transpires when it's handed over to Steen.
Well, I'm sure he's going to have a direct line to Doug Armstrong, and if Army doesn't think that he's doing a good job, for a fact he's going to call him and be like, "What the hell, man?
So
what are you doing?"
Okay, is Bennington locked up long term, or is he?
Bennington still has a few more years. I think he's probably got 2 or 3 more years on his deal.
Okay.
Maybe two.
Okay, so quick here again, trying to figure out and say, hey, we need the star player. Is he tradable? Is he a guy to where you put him in a package and say,
Who?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm asking.
You say Bennington?
I'm just asking.
No.
Not for okay. So you wouldn't give up. You wouldn't give up that for more goals.
Nope.
Offense.
Because then I'll be giving up goals.
I'm asking. We got a show. I'm
telling you right now, not a chance.
You're just like the kid. You're trying to come up with a critical thinking question, and
there's nothing critical to think there. He's one of the elite goalies in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He stood on his head. Even in that game, he saved 40-something shots.
Yeah.
I mean,
he couldn't do it all. The guys in front of him, who's the reason why they're in that situation? We're even close. It's Jordan Bennington.
He had a couple stops in that game that were phenomenal. They had a breakaway, he makes the stop. They had a 2-on-1, makes a stop. I mean, he was, he gave up the goals at the end, but gosh damn. I mean, you got 4 guys in front of the goal. It's hard to.
So could they not? I'm going to say this just to get you guys. Could they not have locked arms and stood in front?
No,
you can't do that. Is that against the rules? Is that against the rules?
That's dumb.
Is it against the rules?
Yeah, it's just dumb.
Zach McVey over.
Hey,
in the head.
I'm just wondering.
He's getting clotheslined by me.
Good as
Zach,
that.
no.
Yes. No. Okay.
No. And even if it's not against the rules, there's a level of stupidity that comes with trying to do such things.
Really?
Maybe, what Mike Leach saying that he wanted to, get little people and throw them over top the goal,
right?
The goal
Get
line
outside the box. I don't know.
Sure. It's just no. So
hey, I'm going to tell you right now, it's better than standing around and just watching.
Well, that's like the old way they used to fight. Let's fight Civil War style, line up and hook arms and go right at each other. No.
Right.
Guerrilla warfare was much better. The thing that they Bennington on a national level has proven that he's one of the most elite goalies in the league. Hell, he even stopped a puck and took a knee to the head in that game. I don't know if you it was what, the second period. I mean, I thought that should have been a penalty for the fact that they ran into the goalie, but hey, we're not calling anything, because we're in Winnipeg. God forbid somebody doesn't let us leave the country or something. But
well, this is their second try in Winnipeg with the team. They don't.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it worked out so great the first time. Yeah, the only reason they have a team is because nobody in Atlanta likes hockey. Stupid. But that's where they were.
I know.
They were the Thrashers. First off, nobody in Winnipeg liked hockey, so then they left. They left, and then they took the team to Arizona.
Did they have a rubber band? Did they have a rubber band and say, hey, I know, Atlanta, that's a great place for hockey.
Pin the tail on the donkey blindfolded. That's what they did.
I don't know how they came up with Atlanta because they should have known. No.
Atlanta. Hey, was Cuba unavailable?
I mean, apparently.
Atlanta.
I don't get it. I don't. First off, and just some of these, I hate the fact that Winnipeg won, but there is part of me after all this, after a tough series and everything, I still like to root for Canada to win the cup because they haven't won it. I feel sorry for them.
Really?
They haven't won it.
Really?
I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah, just a
That's
little
coming
bit.
out of your mouth.
USA.
Next thing you know, you're gonna say,
USA.
yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna be like, "Hey, Illinois."
He
I'm
makes
rooting for
fun
you."
of-
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
What do you hate more? Wait, I'll ask the question. What do you hate more? Do you hate the teams that are still in the playoffs more than you hate Canada? All right, because
Bridges just hit a shot at the buzzer for the New York Knicks to go up 2-0 on the Boston Celtics.
Wow, that'll be a topic of conversation shortly. But I'm just telling you right now, this.
Sorry, he didn't put up a shot. He blocked. I'm sorry, he blocked Jason Tatum's pass, and that was the end. Yep.
Wow, that was anticlimactic then.
Oh, it was pretty. It was. If you saw it, I mean, I was kind of watching. Mm-hmm.
We noticed because you participating so much.
Participating more than Jim. That's all I know.
It's great. Low bar.
What's the team motto? Aim low.
Aim low. Glad we're playing dodgeball. The season itself, I think Armstrong said it best. He's like, we had a decent season, and because he's a competitor, he likes to win. That's why you're not going to see the Blues tank. And I feel like the Stillmans, Armstrong, the entire organization feels like they owe the city of St. Louis a chance to try to put a winning team together. And they're not going to tank to do that. I respect it, also hate it, because we are going to be stuck in the mid-level at best of the first round on most drafts because we will be competitive. But you get a team put together like they had in 2019, and they go on a run. I hope that Jason's right, and they're all pissed off, and this just kind of catapults them to a special year next year. We'll see what moves they make and who's left on the team. They probably will make some changes, though.
So, Jason, because you said you're a Mizzou fan, I'm going to pose this question to you first. Then Chris has to answer. So, after the Blues series and everything that we just talked about their season, do you feel better about the Blues than Mizzou Tigers men's basketball and the season that they had? Because comparatively, would you argue the Mizzou had a better season, overall season, wins, loss, percentage, blah, blah, blah. But because they fell short in the first round, you kind of left with a sour taste in your mouth? Or are you saying, hey, just because the Blues got in by sheer happenstance of doing something that had never been before,
I mean, it's hard to compare because you play 7 games. In basketball, it's 1 and you're done if you lose, So I was sour with the Mizzou thing, and I'm probably more sour about the Mizzou thing than I am the Blues, just because first off, I'm a basketball fan before I'm a hockey fan. So that would be part of the problem. But the other problem is we beat Florida at Florida. Mm-hmm. We beat the team at Florida at their own place.
Yeah.
And we crapped the bed. We took a giant dookie in the bed.
I would argue the Blues did too. Again, 2 goals in under a minute.
No.
Well, they crapped in the last 2 minutes of the game of Game 7.
Didn't they?
Not in game 1 like Mizzou did. You're only one you play.
Hold on. Didn't the Blues also? Didn't they have a lead, or wasn't it a close game in Game 1 and they lost that one too?
Okay, well they shouldn't even been there.
That's why I'm posing the question.
No, because
who had the better season overall?
The Blues.
Now, you asked me who I was more upset about, and I said basketball because
they should have done more. So
yes, they should have done more. The Blues, I didn't have the expectations I did with Mizzou, because Mizzou have proven all season They could. I mean, they beat Alabama. They beat Florida. They beat some teams. They beat Kansas when they were number one. They beat some teams that said, "Oh, you're a top 10 team in the nation, if not a top 5, and maybe a top 3 when you're playing at your best." No one. The night they played Alabama, I don't think there's a team in the nation that would have beat them that night, and they let Alabama back in the game, and that's why I was more disappointed. And it was a big change from the year before. Zero SEC wins. But it burned me more than the Blues. The Blues, I wasn't expecting them to even make it to Game 7. I wasn't even expecting them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chris?
Well, I think Mizzou had the biggest disappointment because they weren't talking like, well, it's going to be a retool for season for us. I mean, they were talking like they're going to compete. They went out and they showed they can compete early on, that they were a good team. They beat the number 1 team at their place, or they beat Florida, they beat Kansas. I think their season's a bigger disappointment because we expected them to maybe, at least win one round. It beat the team they're ranked, they're seated higher than, and they didn't do that. We didn't expect. We didn't expect
that for the Blues.
No, we expect the Blues to make playoffs. Yeah, they were the lowest seed.
Trophy. Lowest seed playing the President's Trophy winner.
And they had the series won up until 1.7 seconds left.
Right?
Mizzou was never
not even close in that Drake game.
No. That was like, hey, we're here. Okay.
But I also, how many times does the national, maybe not media, but the people that pick, they always put Mizzou in like, hey, what's the worst place we could put Mizzou? Oh, that's where we're putting them. Look at that. We're going to put them with Drake because they can't play with that style. It's like every year.
Hey, if you want to win a national championship, you got to be able to beat Drake.
I agree, but
Drake, not Duke. Drake.
I know it's we are talking about the impressive program of Drake that lost their coach.
Well, we could probably poll all 2 listeners and say, where's Drake at? And they probably don't even know.
Do you know where it's at?
Yes.
Where?
We've already talked about it on the show multiple times.
Iowa,
because the coach is going to Iowa, and he's taking all those guys. He's taking all the either the NAIA or the D2 guys that he got to transfer into Drake, and now they're going with him over to Iowa.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. It's not a very far car ride. The U-Haul riddle isn't very much to move all your crap from this dorm to that dorm or wherever you're living.
It's a lot easier to move nowadays from school to school than it used to be.
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, it's
freedom
easier
of movement.
Pack up your stuff and move. It's all good. You're gonna make a little money too.
You're probably gonna make enough money to pay Packers to pack your shit and move. So
yeah, pretty much. 2 guys in the moving van, like, hey, come get my stuff.
College hunks. That's what the one down the street had. 2 college hunks.
Wow,
moving. Yep.
I bet that was popular. Very popular. Well, it's the time for us to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have plenty to talk about between the suddenly surging Cardinals and some talk about upsets. How about the NBA?
Guys, I went to a game.
I know.
It was for a good cause, though. So
we'll talk about that.
For a good cause. Segment. Yep. We are watching the Coach's Box. Be right back.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, You might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Bro! Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Half Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Hey,
all right, welcome
back. I'm doing
sorry.
it. You wanted me to do it.
Oh, I didn't know
I've got the microphone tonight. So, hey, welcome back. We are on episode 234. And, guys, before we go into whatever you all want to talk about, I just,
that commercial almost wasn't long enough. We need some more sponsors. Go ahead.
Lord. Oh, my gosh. Hey, never mind if I can say what I'm going to say. But anyway,
I'm out of breath.
There's some local news. Just wanted to give shout outs and kudos as we in all of the spring sports are getting close to wrapping up and getting to the postseason. We had Jefferson County, our area. We had the conference track meet. I think it was last week, and kudos to both Festus boys and girls track team. They won, I believe. So kudos to them. I know tonight Jefferson. They won the small school baseball conference title. I don't think the large school's been settled yet since they go home and home. I know some local news the small schools are going to go home and home next year.
Oh, wow.
It's golf.
Sports?
Well, at least in baseball.
Hey.
I don't know about the other ones. Golf. We had our conference this week. St. Vincent won. I'll give a shout out to one of my guys. Blaine Wilson was the overall medalist, which means he had the low round. Chris, I know you don't ever shoot low rounds in golf, but Blaine won in a scorecard playoff, shot an 80 down at St. Jen's. So
that's how many shots it takes for me to get through the first 9.
And I think there's some other ones. We could probably talk about soccer if Kevin was here and he could tell us about.
No, that's
conference.
okay.
No,
Moving
wait,
on.
Not, but I was gonna say, but he couldn't tell us about conference. So I don't know if he knows.
Oh,
Kevin!
Look at that! Look at that shot.
But anyway,
Jefferson R7 hired a new boys basketball coach, and Tyler Search, formerly head basketball coach at Valley. So now Judd Nager and the Fighting Warriors down there looking for a head basketball coach, and good luck to them. And I don't know. I've had several people say I should apply. Maybe I should. But yeah,
Jason, you should apply.
Maybe. And then,
it's easy. It's easy, Chris. Tell him.
It's extremely easy. How you gonna say anything different?
It's on the computer and everything. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who knows if
it
it
depends
is?
on the computer.
Who knows?
Just saying. I don't know.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Here we go.
While we're talking about jobs and applying and filling out applications, right? I got a thing, and this is what the teachers in Missouri need to fight for. One, pick one gosh darn application process, whether it's Apple Track, whether it's Spring School, whether
Google Form. Chris,
I don't
Google Form?
care.
Sure.
Let's all pick one. So then when I apply for 7 or 8 jobs, I can just transfer my stuff. No, I have to go back and enter the address of my ref. Seriously, why do you ever need to know? Okay, so Ryan Caston is one of my references, right? Why do they need to know his address? They're not going to go to his house. They're not going to mail him anything. Why does he need to know his address?
My favorite one is when you have to basically fill out your entire job history. And you're listing
and run out of spots. Run out of spots.
Well, it's not just that, but I'm having to think of who my supervisor was, what their phone number was, and the address for them. And they have changed jobs, retired, or they're dead.
Well,
There's no other reason.
I was going to say,
why?
Guys, we're getting long in the tooth when it says student teaching experience. Who is your supervising teacher?
Still don't. I don't know.
And some of the applications will say, if you've been teaching 3 or more years, you don't have to worry about that student. But then
I haven't come across those.
Yeah, and then others don't say that. So then, dude, I don't know where Nikki Scott is. I have no idea. I know her name. That's it. I did my student teaching with her in 1999. So, yeah.
That was last century, Jason.
And so, I was going to say.
And then, like, some of my former bosses.
That was in the 1900s.
Some of my former bosses, I haven't talked to them since I left. I don't know where they're at. I don't know their phone number or their email address. But hey, Gmail works out. You put their first initial, last name, Gmail. What do you do?
Best you can. It is kind of nuts. I mean,
while we're talking,
you Jarvis brought all this up.
Well, I'm bringing up more.
Why don't you just host your own podcast?
I'm out tirade.
We are coaches, but this is a tirade by me. Another thing, what's the 2 ways? I guess there's 3. But what's the 3? I'm going to say 2. What's the 2 ways that you could make more money at this profession? Well, I'm going to tell you.
Well, it depends, because I've seen on the news lately.
Yeah. One. That's terrible. One, you stop. It's by how long you've worked, right?
Right.
Sure.
Longevity.
Oh, yeah.
Years. Experience. Yep. The other is to get more education,
which costs money.
Costs money.
Not a little bit.
The third would be if you move to an administrator or above. Right. But if you're a teacher, there's only really 2 ways you can make more money. Well, yeah, I guess you could add a bunch of stipends. You want to sponsor everything, but why? Schools should accept all years' experience. There shouldn't be, well, this school accepts 8. Oh, this school accepts 10. Oh, this school accepts all of them. Oh, no, this school, we'll give you 10 years. That means you'll be on step 11. Okay, well, I'm going to lose $20,000. I guess I'm going to stay where I'm at.
Jarvis apparently wants everything to be equal for all people, no matter what. It sounds like he's promoting.
Oh, I almost sounded like a Democrat.
Whoa! We're in politics aside here.
All he is saying is, if school's going to be socialist, just go all the way. That's what he was saying. That's all.
I'm just saying, you give where credit is due. You want an experienced teacher, but you don't want to pay them for their experience.
We've said this on the show for years. Why is it that Jarvis makes $20,000 and Chris is going to make $60,000, and they both roll the balls out, and the only reason why is because Chris's uncle
I roll the balls out better.
Because Chris's
My
uncle
balls
is on
roll
the board.
better.
No. Because Chris's
why.
uncle is on the board, or Chris's
Roll
uncle
the
plays
ball.
golf with somebody on the board, and that's how he gets
Chris's
the job.
uncle and the job is across the Merrimack. They make more of
I
them.
don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
No,
Again,
no.
maybe
Hey,
I
it
roll
needs
the
to
balls
be
better.
equal. No, it just needs to be equal pay across the board.
No.
And we were actually talking about this earlier this week. And if you paid more, then what's going to happen is you're going to have more interest. You're going to have better, if you want to call it better educators, more Again, when Jarvis talks about, moving over on the salary schedule, you're going to have people with their masters. You're going to have this, that, and the other. You're going to have that opportunity. So, yeah, I don't know. I think if it's the state issue, everybody should be paid the same.
We're ranked in the bottom 5, so I mean, we're already
49th. We're 49th actually.
We bumped up.
We went up a step. We started from the bottom. Now we're here.
That's called progress. That's what I call progress right here. Said, look, I can show that we're learning.
Right.
Start at the bottom.
All right,
I got data and everything.
That is exactly right. That's a number manipulation.
Well, you're the one who brought
the correct crap up.
I'm talking to myself, damn it. I'm looking at myself in the screen.
Chris,
enough negativity.
Himself in the screen.
Enough negativity. Let's talk about something that's not negative right now. Right now.
Oh, my God.
Cardinals. How about them Cardinals?
Hey, they are surging to 500.
5 in a row, baby.
500. We are average.
6, right?
We are average. We are average.
They beat Paul, and they beat him because Burleson's got his number.
Yeah, what was the score of that game?
2-1.
So that was quite a duel.
It was a good game.
Owned him. Yeah, it's good.
Jill kept telling me the whole game, man, this is boring, Dad. They're not scoring any.
Can we go home? Home?
But we were there for a good cause. My daughter was the St. Louis Post-Dispatch Scholar Athlete representing
there you go.
Representing Herculaneum High School. It's kind of funny because last time I'd been to a game was 2 years prior when Dylan was the St. Louis Post-Dispatch Scholar Athlete. So both my children that went through Herculaneum, man, my voice must have been good to them. I'm
just hearing #rigged. No, I'm playing. I'm totally playing.
My name is Mud, so it had nothing to do with me. But
now, Jason, your name isn't Mud.
But that was a fun time. I was proud of Jill, and she's got a lot of good accomplishments. Going to go to Arkansas next year, but it was cool to go up there and got to see all the other scholar athletes from. It's funny, my roommate from college, his son is the same age as Dylan, and his daughter is the same age as Jill. And his daughter was the scholar, St. Louis Post-Dispatch scholar athlete for Francis Howe, and the last name's Tobin. So congratulations to Darren and Jamie for their daughter getting that. And but anyway, it was cool to be up there. We got to see Ricky Horton always speaks at it, and then the other person this year was Victor Scott.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
I mean, and he was starting in center field and was talking to us like an hour before I thought that was kind of cool too. Like, and he went through the whole processes of like what time he got, what time he gets there and all the work he does. Unlike the Steelers receiver that just got traded who went through the media line last year to get to a game because he was running so late. But anyway, yeah, we can talk about that third segment.
Smart. Very
Old
smart.
Dallas getting another receiver.
Yeah, it's quality.
They love those prima donna receivers. I mean, look, they went out and got Pickens. I mean, think about Joey Galloway. They've had so many prima donnas. Terrell Owens. I mean, come on. Irvin, of course. They had Dion. I mean,
Dion didn't play receiver,
but he did play receiver.
Okay.
A limited amount.
Yeah.
But he played receiver.
He won't
but
be.
The Cardinals they've been fun to watch lately. Hey, they brought up some young guys in the pitching staff. Did you see who got saved last night?
Yeah, Graceffo. And it was great. They brought up McGreevy for the doubleheader. He comes in relief for Palante and pitches way better than he did, gets the win. And what do you get for that, buddy? He
gets sent back down.
Going back down to Memphis for whatever freaking reason. I don't
understand that.
Well, they already started his clock anyway, so what does it matter? Just bring the dude up and trade your worst pitcher for a couple of baseballs and a bag or something. Give him a duffel bag. Let Fred Bird be the one, do a meet and greet with your kids. I don't know. See ya.
I'm pissed because I got him on my fantasy team and he's just rotten, taking up a bench space because I don't want to get rid of him because I think eventually he's going to come up.
Did you play him the other night?
No.
Man, that was dumb.
I'm not in a daily league. I'm in.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Good God, man. I know about you.
It's been a long week, bro. I mean, tomorrow's what? Thursday? We're almost there.
Is it? Is it only Thursday?
May 23rd cannot get here fast enough, boys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's May 23rd? Oh.
Last day of school for us.
I didn't get that. I didn't realize that was what you meant.
When's your last day of school up there? No, Fox.
May 23rd.
May 23rd.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if you guys realize that, we were talking about local news earlier. I mean, we hired a Fox guy for our AD and Dan Fox from Fox.
Yeah. Dan's a good guy. Hope he does a good job. I'll leave it alone. I had something funny.
You know what I want to say, and you were going to say it. I want to let you.
So speaking of Cardinals,
I was gonna talk more about the Cardinals. Zach, go ahead. Whatever, you run the show.
No, you have the floor.
I
was just trying to get us back on track.
Don't you think that Paul may not want to ever pitch to Burleson anymore?
Skeens may not want to.
Yeah, he might not. He probably shouldn't.
I think it's funny that they go out, have a mound visit, and they're like, yeah. And then what? 2 pitches later, 1 pitch, 2 pitches later, he just ropes one down the line. It's like maybe this is David Ortiz facing the Cardinals in the playoffs. Maybe we just walk this guy. That's a novel concept. Let's go ahead and walk this guy.
Now let's get swept.
Man, hit that a mile. Yeah. Yeah, here in a hurry. You told him I was throwing, did you? Yep. Don't ever shake me off again.
No, but Chris, go ahead. They are playing well.
Well, I mean, they're playing well, but they play well at home. Their home record is amazing, and their road record sucks.
That's why they're 500.
That's exactly why they're 500. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect from them. They can be up and down. The problem is what I still have no faith in the pitching staff keeping it together for a sustainable period and making it through the season to where they can win #91 wins, as Kevin would say. Okay. They're not going to be able to do it. And you're talking
about the pitching staff.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they finally bring up Liberatore and they're finally letting him pitch. And I mean, he was good last night. He was really good last night.
He's been pitching. He's been pitching well. And I'm not
his first 2
taking
batters he struck out last night was that third. Then he finally got the 5th out.
Yeah, he had command, and he's got that slider. He's got that wipeout slider. He's even got the curveball to complement, and he was spotting his fastball. It's amazing what happens when you actually keep the ball down in the zone and you don't throw belt high or chest high fastballs.
But the reason why I bring it up is because there's a younger guy, and they're finally letting him pitch and just leave him alone. Yeah. Just leave him alone and let him go out there and do what he does. You get 6 innings out of him, you got to be pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, The thing is, they've got to find out what they have in him because they gave up a Rosarena to get him.
Yeah.
And everybody still thinks that was a crap trade. And the way it worked out, it has been. So, again, this is that time where you just got to let those guys go. But then what are you getting out of, I know Michaelis has pitched a little bit better, obviously. And then, Matt's, if they put him in the pen, and which is where I think he should be.
That's where he came out of last night.
But you are paying somebody $12 million to pitch out of the pen as a lefty specialist.
It is what it is.
I know what it is. Let him get his ERA down and be somebody like that, and then trade him at the deadline and get something out of him for somebody who's going to go make a deep playoff run, because you don't want to have to pay him for another year coming out of the bullpen, and you want to have a spot open for McGreevy.
You had that opportunity last year. You had that.
Yeah, but his ERA sucked. His ERA was like. I mean, it was ridiculous.
There.
Oh yeah,
it was up there.
I mean, when your ERA starts with is double digits, you're not going places except out of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you're saying let him play. So let's just kind of piggyback off of this. What are we doing with Gorman?
This is it for Steven Matz.
Yeah,
is his contract up the end of this year?
It's what I'm reading right now.
You got to walk away and say, I don't care what he does.
Deadline.
He's just got to go. He's just got to go. But the bigger
he's got to go before.
Okay.
He cannot go through the deadline and still be a St. Louis Cardinal.
It doesn't matter one way or the other. It doesn't matter because this is his last year. It doesn't matter.
Free agent.
It sure as hell does
for 2 months.
He's a free agent in 2026.
It does because I want to get something out of him.
It's not this year, Chris.
Wait a minute.
It's not this year.
I don't care.
It's next year.
I don't care.
Yes,
you cannot.
You can get
let him go through. You're trying to talk. Go ahead.
No, I
don't
all
know.
I was saying was this was his last year. If this was his last year on the deal,
it's not. It's 4 years, 44 mil.
Doesn't matter. But the fact that now Jarvis says he's got another year, then yes, you got to trade him. You got to trade him for a bag of baseballs. Yeah.
Okay. So listen, I don't care if this is the end of his deal or not. I don't care if he's got another year on it. If his ERA gets low and he's pitching well, you have to trade him before the deadline to get anything out of him. You can't let him walk if it's his walk year. You can't think going into next year that he's going to repeat if he's doing well this year. He has shown from the time we got him that he's been up and mostly down. He's been hurt quite a bit. He's inconsistent, and you can't pay him the salary of a starting pitcher coming out of the pen to be a specialist. What you've got to do is you've got to get him to a point where he is tradable. And if he does have the extra year, which I was trying to scroll down for whatever reason, my mouse decided to lock up here. Let's see. He's signed through the end of this season. So you got to let him go. He's making $12.5 million. He has to go.
I'm looking at,
Bye.
It says 2026 unrestricted free agent.
Okay, well, next season, Jason, is the 2026 season. So he is good through the end of this season, which is 2025. So he's got to go before the deadline. Like, for me personally, his numbers are. If you pitch him in 5 games and he's doing well, when that happens, I say, hey guys, I got a dude. You're gonna love him. You're in the middle of a playoff push. Yep. Let's go. Let's start talking about it. I would take a team's 10th best prospect and go 1 for 1.
Well, it's the same.
Whatever. Give me
no one's going to go $12 million unless it's the Dodgers or the Yankees.
It's his last year, so you're not paying 12. You're paying whatever point that 12 is over. So he's only going to get paid however many more checks. There you go. You're paying for the rest of the year. You're not paying the full 12.
Miles Michaelis, same situation. Same.
Goodbye. Thing. Both of them got to go. You want to show everybody in St. Louis that you're serious about winning, like and that we're going to try to build here. I trade those two clowns, open the salary up, and pull any of those guys up. McGreevy, I put Graceffo into a position where he's either going to start or Tinkins.
I get it. We got to get rid of him. Do you know Miles Michaelis' career earnings? $114 million. And then Steven Matz's career earnings, $56 million. And $56 million is basically this contract we gave him almost. That's $44 million of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
We were smart.
You know.
Do you get rid of Helsley too? That's why I think
it depends on where it depends on where I'm at the deadline.
Why I think why he was saving the game last night. They're gonna bring him along if he could be a closer. Bye. We'll trade Helsley. He'll step in as a closer. Hopefully, he gets something for Helsley.
I guess think about this though, since we're talking about different pieces. What about Gorman and what about Walker? Because we have said
you don't like that batting average that that Walker has.
No, under 200,
198.
No,
something.
No, and Gorman, he's only got 60 some odd at bats. Like what are we doing? Like it's just put the quarter in the merry-go-round with these guys. This is supposed to be the dude. But then he has a setback, whether it's a physical, mental ability, and then you just don't play him. Like what? Again, if you're going to figure out what he is, we'll let him play, and then don't extend. Okay, just say bye.
Well, Zach, Walker played today. He went 1 for 4, had 2 RBIs. I mean, that's 1 for 4. But
that's only one game. There's 161 other ones, and he's not doing so well in the other.
Well, and Gorman was 1 for 3, and then he drew a walk and struck out twice. I mean, the Cardinals did strike out 9 times as a team. That's kind of reverting back to the old ways.
That's like high school baseball, where you say if you strike out less than double digits, you take that. Unfortunately,
so
you're like, okay, that's a win.
It's so dumb. That's about as dumb as wiping your butt before you poop.
Hey, go find. We'll go over under. Eddie, if he's watching without cheating, what's your over under on how many guys in Major League Baseball are hitting over 300? We'll set it at 11 and a half. 11 and it's
hitting over 300. How many? What's the minimum on plate appearances?
I mean, it's got to be more than 10 at bats. I mean, it's got to be a regular everyday dude. Like, look up ESPN. They're playing so many.
Are we talking Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
I'm taking the over, but not by much.
Eddie, if you're watching, I'm
gonna look it up.
Tell us your thoughts here.
I'll take the under.
I bet we don't have. It's the same thing. Now, Jarvis isn't going to like this, but you know who's batting? One of those dudes that are batting well over 300. Paul Goldschmidt. For the Yankees.
I wonder why. You know why, right?
A little bit better personnel around him.
You would think, right? I got the number, so anybody want to?
I'll go under. I said 11 and a half was the over/under. I'm going to say the under. Anybody else who wants it? All three viewers that want to chime in.
Jason, what's your pick?
What am I picking?
He wasn't paying attention. His ADD's strong. Come on, it was made.
I'm sorry. I was looking at a post from Annie Agar, and it's a.
Well, I mean that's okay. That's forgivable.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just leave it at that.
On the beach, and her title says, "Unlike Tyreek Hill, I never want to leave here." She's in Miami, so I, kind of had to take a peek at it.
Fair.
So what am I over under what?
How many people?
Oh my gosh!
How many people in Major League Baseball are hitting over 300 or better? And the over and under is set at 11 and a half.
I'm going to say that It's under.
18.
Wow.
There you
I
go.
picked the over. Suck it, losers.
Out of what? 13
I don't know.
13 times 30
way too many.
guys. Let's just call it that.
We already saw the number.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the order right now, it's Aaron Judge, Wilson from the A's, Goldschmidt's third in the league, Stephen Kwan, Donovan is next, Pete Alonso's hitting 328, Bregman, Tatis Jr., Terang from Milwaukee, Aranda from Tampa Bay, George Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, Garcia from Kansas City, Bobby DeWitt Jr. from Kansas City. I mean, you know, a lot of guys are hitting. Ohtani's hitting 299, so he's right there. You know, and he's okay. He's an okay player.
1990s, early 2000s. Dudes that are hitting 325 with 45 home runs and 125 RBIs that still can't.
You know how you get there, right?
Can't make. That still isn't even in the top 5 in MVP race. And you know how they're doing it, Chris? You know how they're doing it? Roids. It's entertainment. It is entertainment. Entertain me.
It works for wrestling.
Right? Hey, Jarvis. You remember the big power lifter, Ronnie Coleman? You remember the big bodybuilder, Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You don't think he was on the juice? Hey, do you know what his occupation was? You know what his occupation was for a while? Police officer. Nobody in that locker room thought, hey, this guy's natural. We don't need to inspect him at all. So come on, get the roids back in baseball, get the averages up.
It's funny that you're saying this today because in my history of sports, we are watching the summer, man. Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. My history of sports class.
There you go. I'm telling you.
I mean, baseball seemed to be a lot better back then. I think it was more popular. You didn't have to worry about putting the damn clock on things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, watching the Springfield Cardinals, and I was like, man, this pitch clock's stupid.
Oh,
so dumb.
Kevin, where you at? Kevin, any rebuttal?
I don't think the pitch clock's stupid. I got in, got out, got home before 10 o'clock last night, man.
Oh, sorry.
That was awesome.
That's great. Awesome. Good job.
Car still there in the parking lot. Windows were still attached.
I parked. I paid $30 freaking to park.
There you go. They got money out of you somehow then.
Well, I mean, that's that. And I bought a hot dog on the street. It was only $3.
It was green, but it was only $3.
No, I knew it was fine.
It was late in the road. How much was a hot dog?
Some guys passed.
It was really good,
man.
man.
You gonna eat that?
I should have bought. Yep, I bought a hot dog out there, and then I had one adult beverage at the game, and that was it.
And it's soda, 6-pack of soda.
No, I had a Budweiser.
Jason, I mean, was this guy seem like a legit vendor that you were buying that hot dog from?
Yeah, he had a cart. I mean, it was.
Oh, did he have a trench coat?
He had a. It wasn't like when he came out of the east side and they're cooking the burgers, man. You know, it wasn't like that. This he had his flat top grill. He was cooking his. He goes, I don't have any brats made yet, but and that hot dog was big. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. $3. That hot dog inside probably cost $15.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be careful buying wieners from some guy.
You are so funny, Chris.
You never know, man.
Just never know what wiener you're gonna get.
Gosh, go to commercial, please. Go to commercial, please.
All right, if you're still here, watch Coach's Box. Come back to our third and final segment.
Chris always does it.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower.
and I'm not exactly street legal.
And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm How Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling. We've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out. Live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Dead air.
What happened, McVey?
What are you doing? You're supposed to go, Zach.
Oh, it's your time. I'm tagging you in. Go ahead.
No, my gosh. No.
Hey, the director said you were bringing us in all night.
All right. Well, he didn't know. He did not
and
say
then
that.
I tried.
He just said you're bringing
And
us
you're
in.
like, no, it's bad. It's bad. It's
That's just 'cause I
bad.
want to bring up the local stuff. You can have it back. It's fine. I acquiesce.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching the Cox. We're here.
Hey, we're here.
again.
Who's
We're
not
back.
here? Who's
Thanks
not
for
here?
tuning in. If you like our show,
I see Kevin.
Okay, why didn't you just
not
bring
here.
us in? You
forgot. Old age, bro. You
jump
forgot.
in,
Old
right
age.
in. Just jump in. I'm trying to bring us in. Tell the people where they can watch our show. Thank them for
okay
tuning in. You're just like, hey, speaking of which, who's not in here? No, you bring out. Then you're right back to it. It's like,
yeah.
What do you want? Make up your freaking mind. Oh, it's like trying to herd cats around here.
Hey,
he wanted a new voice to bring us in.
Oh, just for one segment. That was it.
Zach,
well, I'd have brought us in if we were. My Lakers sucked in the playoffs. They suck.
Yeah.
LeBron sucks.
Oh,
they suck.
Not great.
That was our third segment here. Is talking a little bit of NBA because don't usually talk about the NBA because none of us usually like watching it. But the playoffs have been a little interesting.
Anymore.
It's not basketball. It's just pure entertainment with people who break the rules of basketball while they're playing it. most athletic individuals probably on the planet who apparently don't understand that you got to put the ball down on the floor before you pick up your pivot foot, and you only get 2 steps, and then complain about every single foul known to man that they didn't make, and somehow get away with it without getting teed up or tossed consistently. But I digress. The NBA playoffs has been fairly entertaining. Again, like wrestling, it's kind of fake, but it's entertaining nonetheless.
He just said it's like wrestling. No, it's not like wrestling.
It's pretty fake, and it could be fixed.
It's not fake.
They have jerseys and everything.
It's fake basketball.
I guess say it is not basketball.
The only thing really about basketball it is the fact that you have to bounce it every now and then, and you shoot
optional.
it through the hoop. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the only way you can score points still in the game of basketball.
Oh, man.
Good God. What?
He wanted to talk about it, and here he is yawning,
I'm yawning about Chris's take on it.
All right, then. Let's hear your take, then. You're an NBA expert, Laker fan.
Oh, my gosh. There's Ron Rhodes' take on the show. I'm just joining the show, and there's 0 big time, and Mr. Ohio State.
Well, he's got other things to do.
Dude, there is no love lost between Jim Powers and Ron the Legend Rhodes.
Nope.
Trash bag. Ron the trash bag. I still can't get over that.
I still see Al Davis going like this with his arm. Getting up in there and getting them some.
That's funny.
No,
right.
it has been entertaining. I'll tell you what, I watched the Nuggets and OKC the first game, and now they're on now, but I watched their first game and I thought OKC had it won, and Denver pulls it out, man, and hits that shot at the end, and Gordon nails a 3. He didn't have to take the 3 to win either. That's what basketball is now. It's, drive, get stopped, dish out for the 3. Drive, get stopped, dish out to the open 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get a steal, get in transition, get a dunk. Dunks and 3s. That's about all the NBA is anymore. It ain't like MJ, Isaiah Thomas, and Magic, and many of these others that had a little bit of mid-range, like Allen Iverson. And
yeah, you know why they had a mid-range jumper? Because if they were going to get 1 foot to the goal, they were going to get clotheslined. So they said, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull up from about 12, 15. So that'll be okay. You can't guard me there.
Why Jordan's the greatest, but, that's another discussion. Westbrook, I'll give Westbrook some props. He's been really tough for the Nuggets off the bench. It's been fun to watch, man. And I get what you're saying. There's a lot of traveling. You know what drives me nuts? Is the little crap that they let go by. Like, guys shooting free throws the other night, and he missed 2 crucial free throws the other night, right, at the end of the game. And there was a lane violation by 2 guys on the other team, and it wasn't called, and the ball just went the other. Like, and they step over the line when they throw the ball in all the time, and I hate that they let that little crap go.
You know why, Jason? Because it's not real basketball. It's fake, like wrestling.
That was not fake. That dude just got a.
Oh, really? Really? I mean,
it's almost like
Catch
what
and
is it? Is it
shoot
like
3.
aren't hockey rules like guidelines anyway?
No,
like you can maybe call it. I thought there's this soccer that's kind of like guidelines anyway.
There were several calls that were not called in that Blues game the other night that could have been called.
There you go. Isn't it like up for interpretation for the officials? Like, we can call it. We don't have to.
I mean, you know what? I mark this down. I don't ever agree with Zach.
You've agreed with me quite a bit, but it's okay.
Not as I don't like it.
There you go. There you go. There it is.
Okay, so, but I'm thinking we may need some robo umps before it's said and done.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
Now he's gonna feel good about himself because he's like, yeah,
there you go.
Well, I'm just trying to make him feel good before he goes to bed.
It's a teacher appreciation week.
Yeah. You know what? You saw the thing. Was it in our text message thing that was sent? If we have an appreciation week, you ain't making enough money.
Dim be the facts, though.
I mean, serious. You got a job they got to appreciate you for an entire week. You ain't making enough money.
Definitely seems to be the case. It's very interesting though, considering that Cleveland is the top team in the East. Now they're down two games to none. I'll tell you what. How about the Pacers? How about the freaking Pacers, man?
At some point, can't be bad forever.
Well, they haven't been bad forever. The last time they were really good,
they were good in the 90s.
Okay,
when Larry Bird was coaching them.
That was the last century. We're a quarter of the way through this century.
Hey, dude,
it's a long time ago.
I don't want to hear that. The 90s was when I was young.
I know. I get reminded of that all the time. This isn't the 90s anymore. Well, it should be.
Well, we had this
last greatest decade.
So we just got done with the 60s, 70s, and 80s in my class, and I said, and one of the kids said, "Well, Coach Jarvis, if you could live whenever you wanted, when would it be?" I said, 80s and 90s for sure. I said, you know what? In the 80s, when I went outside, my mom and dad didn't worry about anything. I might be gone for 12 to 15 hours, and nothing was said. I came home at dark. It was all good. If I was home a little after dark, it was all good. I wasn't getting kidnapped. I was riding my bike from Hematite to Festus, maybe. I don't know. I was all over the place. It was such.
Can you ride your bike that far now?
Well,
only if it's one of those electric ones.
No. Bull crap, dude. I have been slacking on my walking, but
I'm not gonna say anything. I need to lose me a couple LBs.
There's more than a couple in this fat guy over here. I mean, I had to go to sleep apnea doctor. I mean, I got issues.
Yeah.
And the health insurance ain't cheap, but no, the NBA has been a little entertaining. They got to do something. I mean, because the rest of the regular season's been bad. And, attendance. Dude, you could have sat wherever you wanted almost at the Cardinal game last night.
The Cardinals again.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep going Cardinals. But
hey, it's what's on his mind, Chris. Let the man talk.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and it's
make some notes. Bring him to. Okay.
At least it's enjoyable right now. I mean, even though we got some issues, but I mean,
I wonder if they let you sit in the green seats.
Well, we were right behind them.
Yeah.
And people left our section and went and sat on them.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, they weren't green in our area, but they were right on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, there was a lot. It seemed like there was more there last night than I've seen on TV a couple nights. And that probably, I mean, the Post-Dispatch, it's 148 athletes.
Yeah.
So you multiply that by at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of those people probably brought 4 to 6 people,
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's crazy to watch the Joker play because he does not look like an athlete at all. But he's like one of the best in the NBA.
It just tells you that you play at your own speed, you play to your skill set. I mean, and that's all you need to do. And you're confident, and you are confident in your skill set.
Baby, I love the Nuggets. They're just playing that 2-3 zone. You go, Nuggets.
Well, how about this? It's funny though. I had this conversation with some of the coaches and stuff. Do you think that Jokic is probably one of the most underrated superstars or MVPs in this sport?
Underrated or marketable? Like, is he underrated because he's not everywhere on TV?
The thing is,
because he's not American, and so he's not going to relate to.
No, that has nothing to do with that. I think the fact he's not marketable because that's his decision to not be marketable, because he could just as easily do more stuff. What does he want to do? When he's done playing basketball, he wants to drink beer and ride horses.
Right.
That's literally his pastime. He's kind of like Mike Trout. Mike Trout could be a more marketable player. Mike Trout doesn't care. He doesn't care where he plays. He's just playing.
He sounds more like John Kruk, if that's what his off season is like. I mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, the guy is three-time MVP. I mean, he's won 3. He could possibly win it this year, but I don't think he will. I mean, what else does he got to do? He's still. I just feel like he's underappreciated. Didn't he have like a 40-20 game the other night?
Yeah, 40 and 22.
Again, though, if you're the NBA, that's who you want. Again, that's who you want as the face of your franchise, the guy that
I don't care.
But that's to go to your question. I'm trying to respond to your question.
No, they want the ant.
I don't think he's underrated or undervalued. I think what you said, he doesn't care. You look at the commercials. You know, I think you see the guys from Oklahoma City, and you see them paired up. I don't really see Giannis. I don't really see Wemby all that much. You know, there's no Michael Jordan Gatorade commercial. There's no Michael Jordan or go back even further, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, McDonald's commercial. Like they're just not doing. Those companies are not doing those types of ads anymore. You go back to the movie Air, where we're talking about Michael Jordan and Nike, and they said we're going to change the game and we're going to market you around the company. I don't think they do that anymore. It's Tiger Woods maybe, and that's not happening anymore. I don't think there's any athlete that you can do that with, and I don't know why, but you're just never going to have those. I want to be like Mike type either icons or commercials. I don't know why.
I mean, I just think that a guy that has done what he's done since he's been in the league. He's 29 years old. He's on the verge of being 30, and he's going to be on the second part of his professional playing career. I mean, he's done quite a bit. He brought a championship to Denver. I don't know what they'll finish this year, and he's obviously going to be solid. Again, 3 MVPs in the last 5 seasons, and the only year he didn't win it, he finished second.
Well, they're up 1-0 against the number 1 seed right now. They're getting their butts handed to them right now by 19, but this is the NBA. They're playing.
Oh, they're playing. Yeah, Oklahoma City.
OKC. Yeah.
Yeah. And they jumped up and they beat them the other night. So
I think Oklahoma City has the MVP on their team.
That's what a lot of people said. I mean, it's hard to say that you don't have the MVP when you won 65 games as a franchise.
SGA is pretty good.
He's pretty good.
And he's a lot more marketable than the Joker.
Well, the only problem is you can't say his name.
Yeah, that's true. That's why they initialize it.
It's SGA. Can you say it, Zach?
No, because I don't know who we're talking about. Because I don't watch.
Oh my gosh, you really don't know who you're talking about?
No, I know he plays. I know what he looks like. I know who he plays for, but
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Where do you go to college, Zach?
No clue. Kentucky.
Oh.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Jarvis, what the hell are you doing?
I'm frowning on Zach here. I was just like,
you're fall asleep.
Nah. He is. He's just.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's been rough. If I get in the right position in a chair, I'm out.
You know what that's called? There's a condition.
Old age. It's called old age.
It's called your old ass is old.
Yeah, wasn't old enough.
That's exactly what it means.
But go back to again.
Oh, my bad. Hang on. Oklahoma City didn't win 65. They won 68.
There you go.
Ron Rhodes, are you serious? Good. Jason Tatum is way better than Michael Porter.
Tatum.
That's what
Michael Porter probably had a higher ceiling, but Michael Porter's health has never allowed him to reach his full potential.
I'm going to tell you right now, that is a 100% true statement. Watching him play live,
I make true statements.
The athleticism that he had in high school, yes, and then seeing, I mean, Tatum did that turnaround fadeaway even in high school. Like that was his shot even back in high school. So Porter was above the rim. He did whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. Yeah, he just had that.
Who?
Michael Porter Jr.
Are you listening to the conversation?
No, I'm listening to him. I'm going. So you're trying to tell me Porter's better than Tatum?
He didn't get any of it, did he? He's that kid. He is that kid in class. That kid.
Yep.
Why in the Jason? Golly, man. I said Michael Porter Jr. could have been better than Tatum.
But
his body never let him live up to that because he was never okay. All right.
He's been healthy in the NBA.
Has he though?
Oh, he's a little sore right now. There's something wrong with him.
There you go. There's always something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like one broken nail away from being street clothes. Okay.
I think he plays more in street clothes.
Ooh, boy, I don't know about that. That's a bold statement, Cotton. Let's see if that one pays off. When we go to the stats here.
Well, Ron, in high school he may have been better, but he ain't.
That's literally what I said when you were paying
literally
attention,
what Zach
Jason.
was saying. It's literally what he was saying.
We weren't talking about. We're talking right now. Tatum.
I'm just saying.
It's only May 7th. Prescriptions don't run out to the end of the month. Not the beginning of
I've
the
never
month.
been on an ADD medicine. I will never be on one. I have never been diagnosed. I'm old.
No, we had medicine for ADD.
They called me hyper.
You know what our medicine was back in the day?
The belt. The belt.
That was extra strength. This is the normal. The belt was extra strength.
I got the belt way more than I ever got the hand. I got a lot of belt. The Nuggets are down 30. They're getting an ass kicking right now.
Well,
but in the NBA, it's almost like you can't turn it off because they may come back. You know.
Well, and that's why again, it's not basketball anymore. How are you down 20, 25, sometimes even more than that, and they just let you come back into
I
a
don't
ball
know
game?
how you up 3-1 with 2 minutes left and lose a hockey game. I mean, tell me.
Yeah.
Well, it's real simple. You allow them to shoot the puck into the goal, and
shit.
I make no attempt to stop it. To do things that you would normally think would be like smart.
You know what?
Like let's clear the puck and shoot it.
I'm just going to change the subject because you pissed me off. But
okay.
Ron Rhodes, I want to say you are dedicated because I haven't seen a Dave Jarvis sighting tonight. So Ron Rhodes is most dedicated fan.
Well, there you go.
Hey, Ron, you still got a JV spot? I mean, maybe I need to move. Maybe I need to make a move.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, maybe Coach Rhodes needs a new voice in his program, too. Well, I think that kind of does it for us tonight. We have covered a plethora of topics. What?
Hold on, no.
Oh, God.
Did you go to the Hall of Fame?
I did.
So you probably ought to talk about that a little bit, I think.
Well, we had a great list of people who made the NBCA Hall of Fame.
There was one that I would have probably ixnayed off that list. I mean, but go ahead.
What?
List them. Let's hear it.
Good gosh, Jason. I don't have the damn program in front of me.
I thought you had a good memory.
No, I'm getting old. You know, that's what happens when you get old. You forget things sometimes.
That's for damn sure.
But we did have several guys being inducted into the NBCA Hall of Fame this last weekend in Springfield. Some great coaches. One of them being Chris Trimmer, who does tend to watch our show at times, and he is my new assistant basketball coach. He had a great career, as a head coach. He wants to try out some assistant coaching, and I didn't give him Zach's number.
I was going to say, Zach, tell him how that is.
Yeah,
I was just thinking he had such a great assistant before that the only way he could go any better was to get a Hall of Famer. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
this is where you insert Kurtovic's name and saying, yeah, you're right. Kurtovic was pretty good. It's pretty consistent.
Well, he knows. I sent him the one of those reels from Kicking and Screaming, where Will Ferrell tells Mike Ditka to get a juice box. And it says on there it was the approach I'm taking with my assistants this year. You'll give me a juice box. Do you know who you're talking to? Yeah, juice box guy. I'll give a juice box.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent it to him. So yeah, I'm taking this approach. Yep. But it's always I wish I'd have felt better when I was down there to kind of probably enjoy it a little bit more. But it was a great event. It always is. Neil Hook going into he received the Gary Filbert Lifetime Achievement Award. It's the highest award that the NBCA gives. And it was great to hear they did a new format this year. Instead of having the inductees do speeches, sat them down and did kind of interviews with them, right there in front of everybody. It's real casual kind of setting and stuff. So always a great thing. I mean, I don't want to say that just because, I'm directly involved with it, but I've never heard anybody say how terrible it was, or anything like that. And, just seeing a lot of these guys who've had a long career. I don't know if I could go 40 years of coaching. Maybe if I can live that long, it'd be great. But, congratulations to all of them, and just hearing some of their stories and some of the stuff, it's always cool. It is always cool to see those guys to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So is Trimmer going to let me run flex? Well, Coach Rhodes, I'm the head coach. And if I want to run flex, I'm going to damn well run flex. I don't need Coach Trimmer's Hall of Fame approval. And we agree how great the flex is. If you want, I can come in there and give you a clinic on how to run it correctly. And I'm kidding. Coach Rhodes knows how to run the flex. Probably should run it. If I coach girls basketball, that's all I would run is run the flex, because they can screen and they are a lot tougher than guys. That's all there is to it. I would run the piss out of that flex. Just saying. There's my hot take. Guys, I think this kind of does it for the show, unless you guys have anything else to throw in there. By the way, I do want to throw in something. Prince Fielder's son made his major league debut, I believe, this week. And Prince Fielder's son is 20. And we are going to get a chance to see all three Fielders play in the major leagues. How old do you feel now?
Dang.
Yeah, right. I was scrolling to share the show, and I didn't save the picture, and I was like, oh man, I really wish, because I can't remember the kid's name, but I saw that and I wanted to throw that in right at the end, that now we're gonna get a chance to see all three generations of Fielders play.
Gosh, we're old.
Yeah, and it was, as it said all those things, it had pictures of all three at the bottom, and said, if you know the last one or something like that, is like, how old do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
It was like very old.
Mm-hmm.
Very old at that moment. So
well, on that note, thank you, everybody.
Yep. Now Jason is officially ready to go to bed. No. All right. So anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in for another episode of the Coach's Box. Hopefully we can see you guys all next week and get a chance to talk some sports and whatever else. And for the guys who aren't here, and for the ones I'm sure they would like for us to say good night, God bless, take care. We'll see you all later.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.